Yes.
ये खाना जा रहा है इसमें भाई बोतलों से पैक होके जाता है, बोतलों में पैक होकर खाना जाता है जो 40 के।
We're still mining. It's about 2 to 3 meters, and we're expecting it to be out by about 5 o'clock.
It's remain how many meters left right now?
2 to 3 meters.
3 meters?
2 to 3 meters.
Is it going to be a like breakthrough in coming hours? I think.
Before.
Huh? Sir, do you feel that is it going to be very?
Do you expect the operation to get over?
Maybe another 3 hours.
Another 3 hours?
ये वो एक्सपर्ट हैं जो कि बता रहे हैं कि अगले 3 घंटे के अंदर
Health conditions of the laborers?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Can you please tell us something about the health condition of the laborers?
Everyone's very excited. Everyone's very energetic.
Okay.
And waiting to see them when they come out.
Achha, Chris, I just want to say one thing, that this is the first time I've seen you a little happy and a little joyous today, because it's been 17 days. You were really, really anxious the entire time when this operation was going on.
Anyway, let's see what happens.
Yes?
Yes.
So, sir, tell us one thing.
Oh,
the
yeah.
vertical drilling is also going on simultaneously?
No, we stopped it. We're just focusing on this drilling.
Okay, the focus is only the manual drilling.
Yes.
And you are saying that the laborers are going to come out in another 3 hours.
I didn't say they're going to come out. It's likely they'll be out before 5 o'clock.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What's the progress, sir?
So we're still mining. We've got a couple more meters to go. The going's quite easy. I'm expecting to see some results by 5 o'clock.
So how many meters left?
About 2 to 3 meters.
2 to 3 meters.
Yes.
How much like it will take, according to you, sir?
About 5 o'clock we should see.
5 o'clock. Sir, today evening we will rescue all the workers.
We should see.
ठीक. ही बैठने लगा सब। हाँ ठीक।
अथॉरिटी से और क्या बताया जा रहा है? आपके भाई आपको कह रहे हैं कि थोड़ी देर में ही वो निकलने वाले हैं?
हाँ, ये वो बोले कि थोड़ी देर में निकलने वाले हैं
जी। और सरकार से इतना दिन हो गए, 2 हफ्तों से ज्यादा हो गए आपको यहाँ पे आए हुए। आपके भाई अभी भी वो टनल के अंदर ट्रैप्ड है। आपको क्या क्या सुविधाएं मिली हैं सरकार से ताकि ये पूरा रेस्क्यू टीम चलते रहे, ये सारा रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन चलते रहे और आपका संपर्क बना रहे अपने भाई के साथ?
जी जी, वहाँ से हम लोग अपने मतलब प्रशासन वाले सब लोग बात कराते थे
जी।
और यही मतलब थोड़ा
अरे पीछे भी देख लो, लाइव चल रहे हैं सबके। यहाँ पे तो आप आपको मत
आपके पॉकेट की एक बोतल दीजिए।
केवल देख ले नीचे।
टनल पर उन पर ही फोकस रखते हैं। मैं यहीं से बोल दूंगा डायरेक्ट। 30 सेकंड का चंक है, बस फोकस।
टनल पे
हाँ उन्हीं पे
बस ओके
और ये सीधी तस्वीरें इस वक्त हमारे दर्शक देख रहे हैं न्यूज 18 इंडिया पर जनरल वीके सिंह टनल से बाहर निकलते हुए, और उनके साथ में उत्तराखंड के चीफ सेक्रेटरी मौजूद है, खासतौर पर भास्कर खुलवे की मौजूदगी, जो एक बड़ी जिम्मेदारी संभालते रहे हैं। बद्री केदार के पुनर्निर्माण में एक बड़ी जिम्मेदारी थी और इस रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन में भी भास्कर खुलवे लगातार यहां पर मौजूदगी दर्ज कराते, और अब जनरल वीके सिंह जो कैंप ऑफिस बनाकर यहां डटे रहे टनल से
हाँ ठीक कैमरे में
तो मुमकिन है कि जो मजदूर अंदर से बाहर निकल के आए उनसे बातचीत भी करे, वो उनका हाल चाल जाने। तो अभी तक जो बात वहाँ पर माइक्रोफोन से हो रही थी, जो बात वहाँ पर लाउडस्पीकर से हो रही थी, अब आमने सामने वहाँ पर भी कर सकते हैं और हाल चाल जान सकते हैं। तो फिलहाल ये जो हलचल है ये टनल के बाहर यहाँ पर सबसे पहले आपने देखा कि जो जनरल चले गए हैं, और अब यहाँ पर एक बार फिर से जो नीरज है वो नीरज हमको नजर आ रहे हैं, जो कोऑर्डिनेटर है, जो जोनल ऑफिसर है, क्या कर रही है लगातार हलचल है और अब जानकारी दे रहा है, लगातार कोशिश की जा रही है कि अभी का अपडेट क्या है। हम कोशिश करें कि कुछ तस्वीरें दिखा सकें। क्या कहा जाए कि इसका दिन हम ये समझते हैं ये उनका कब्जा था।
और ये तस्वीर हमारे दर्शक
ambulances, and now there you can see the drone also.
Inching closer to that magical moment when each and every person would be taken out, when those visuals would come out of finally these people being taken out safely, 41 lives being saved. That is something that is the biggest cause of concern at this point in time. Over the last 17 days, we were hoping that no untoward incident happens inside the tunnel, and today, finally, we are just hours away from making that dream come true. The rescue teams that have been working have definitely worked round the clock, 24/7, making sure that the situation on the ground remains in control, the situation remains in hand, and that is what the rescuers have successfully been able to do over the last 17 days. The morale of the people has been kept high. Over the last 17 days, the morale of the rescue teams have been kept high, and that is something that is a commendable job that has been done by the rescuers. What were the questions that were being asked? That is something that could be talked about later. But today is a day certainly of celebrations. Yes, a lot of questions still needs to be answered, and we are hoping that we'll get those answers very, very soon. But yes, today is a day that needs to be celebrated, because the biggest rescue operation, one of the biggest rescue operations in India, is going to come to an end today within the next few hours, and the countdown is definitely on. With every passing minute we are speaking, there is a lot of movement that continues to happen out here on the ground. The rescue teams making sure that yes, there is a lot of excitement, but they do not lose their minds in this excitement and unto a situation might arise, and hence each and every step that is being taken is being put forth with utmost precision and utmost care.
Absolutely, those visuals on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, where the family members of the trapped laborers are packing up their gear. So it seems that movement is taking place on the ground when it comes to the movement of the laborers out of the tunnel, and the family members are preparing to accompany them in the ambulances. Remember, 41 ambulances are on the ground, one for each of those laborers who are trapped inside. Anshul, take us through the situation on the ground when it comes to the weather. Now, in areas like Uttarkashi, the weather turns very immediately. So, any challenges being posed by the weather, and are the rescue teams working so that they can get out all the 41 laborers before it turns dark in Uttarkashi?
So yes, that is something that needs to be done, but yes, it is not a big cause of concern. The weather is not a big cause of concern over here. Over the last 17 days, there has been absolutely no rain that has happened out here in Uttarkashi. In fact, just this morning itself, there was a slight drizzle that happened, but nothing major yet again. Nothing major had happened. But today, as we are speaking, the rescue team will try to make sure that even if it gets dark, they would successfully be able to transport them from here to Chinalisor, which is not a long distance away from here. It is actually very, very close. It's just a half-an-hour drive from the location at which we are standing. So yes, the lighting, the weather is definitely not a cause of concern for the rescuers at this point in time. What is a cause of concern is that all these people are taken out with safety, and while they are being taken out, no untoward incident happens at that point. No one gets injured at that point. That is something that is the biggest cause of concern for the rescuers as we are speaking.
Right, and we're also getting updates, Anshul, where preparations are now complete at the Community Health Center in Chinalisor for the treatment of these 41 laborers. Those visuals on the right side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, these are visuals coming in from the Community Health Center in Chinalisor, where, as you can see, all the preparations have been completed. So you can see that how immediate medical care, the entire infrastructure has been put in place for that, ladies and gentlemen. The minute these laborers come out of the tunnel, they will be boarded onto the ambulance and taken to this community health center in Chinalisor to get immediate medical attention. So Anshul, that entire chain has been put in place so that no time is wasted to get those laborers that immediate medical attention, because they've been trapped inside this tunnel for over 2 weeks now. There's a huge temperature differential. At the same time, when it comes to exposure to sunlight after 17 days inside such a tunnel, it will cause health complications at the end of the day, which is why that entire chain for immediate medical care seems to have been put in place.
Well, definitely this was on expected lines. The Chief Medical Officer was stationed right here at this spot for the last 17 days, just to make sure that if at all someone inside the tunnel feels any sort of uneasiness or complains about anything, he could be treated at the earliest, and hence the Chief Medical Officer was present on the spot in this temporary hospital that has been built over here for the last 17 days. Now, apart from that, it was clear that whenever these people will come out, they would first need medical attention, and hence a place was required where there could be actually 41 beds. Now, in the small district of Uttarkashi, there are not many hospitals that could actually boast this pressure of having 41 beds at a single go, and hence this makeshift hospital was redeveloped. This hospital, the community hospital that you are seeing on your screens right now, was a makeshift COVID hospital that was made during the pandemic, and post that it was not of that much use. Now finally, when the difficulty came up, that entire facility was revamped, and it has been made with 41 beds now. All the equipments are present over there, but still, if at all someone needs the medical attention of higher
तो
concern
ये
and higher
कतार लगा करके
those
उस
people
रास्ते
would
पर
be held
जो बीआरओ ने
here, or a green corridor would be made and would be taken to AIIMS Rishikesh, which is if airlifting happens is a 15-minute route. If they go by road in a green corridor, it is somewhere around a 2.5 to 3 hour 3-hour journey. So yes, all the preparations are absolutely underway. Each and every nitty-gritty and detail has been worked upon. Each and every contingency plan has also been made, because yes, until and unless all these people are taken out safely and are admitted to the hospital, the rescue operation would not end, and hence the contingency plan has been made for each and every step, each and every problem that will come up, because now is the time that they can predict the problems. Remember, what was happening inside the tunnel, the terrain was absolutely unknown, and hence predicting anything inside that was absolutely impossible. And now finally in this last leg of transporting these people, taking these people out, is something that could be actually planned, and contingency plans could be made regarding that as well. Now you see, these are more family members who are now going inside. They have been called in by the agencies, because you can see the excitement with which these people are going inside, because they know that this is the last few minutes that they have to wait before they get to see their loved ones. So yes, you can see the kind of happiness, the kind of excitement that these people have. All these people were waiting over here patiently for the last 17 days. In fact, their patience almost ran out on the fourth and the fifth day, when there was a small protest that happened over here, because they did not feel that any work was happening inside the tunnel. And finally, the rescuers were actually able to convince them that yes, a lot of work is happening, the entire government machinery is working with them. And then finally on the 9th day, when that breakthrough pipe was put in, that turned out to be one of the turning moments in this entire rescue operation, because that lifeline pipe actually gave a lot of hope to the people, to the family members, and also to the people who were stuck inside, because now there could be a two-way communication through a strong line, and they could also see their loved ones with cameras as well. So yes, you can imagine how crucial was that 6-inch lifeline pipe that was drilled in on the 9th day, which actually gave a lot of confidence to the rescuers as well, that even if they take some more time and make sure that there is safety for the rescuers as well, they can actually take more time, because now the people inside who are stuck inside will have access to food, fruits as well as medicines, everything, and a strong communication was also established. So yes, that 9th day was the most crucial point in this entire operation, which actually gave people a lot of hope that yes, this entire debris is penetrable, and yes, people are working on the clock to reach towards the other end of the debris.
In fact, a lot of reassurance for the families of the trapped laborers came from the trapped laborers themselves, ladies and gentlemen. Ever since that two-way communication was set up, a lot of the trapped laborers inside were reassuring their families outside that everything was being done to rescue them. And as Anshul was pointing out, there was that protest which took place near the tunnel, because the patience of the families was running out. But the rescue teams and the authorities on the ground time and again were reassuring them that everything was being done to ensure the safe rescue of the trapped laborers. And now that major breakthrough, where any time now the laborers will start coming out. Remember, the families are already lined up at the mouth of the tunnel, because they will accompany their family members in those ambulances to the health center, where they will get that medical attention. 41 ambulances on the ground for each of the laborers. Anshul, you were also speaking to General V.K. Singh, who's been overseeing all the rescue operations. The authorities on the ground, while they're working tirelessly to ensure that these laborers are taken out, not giving any specific timelines. They're keeping their fingers crossed as well.
So yes, no specific time has been given, but yes, the family members are still waiting outside. I'll just try and get in a word from them. दीदी, आप लोग इतने दिनों से यहाँ आए हुए हैं, आज फाइनली लग रहा है कि आज राहत मिल जाएगी।
आज बहुत
खुश हैं।
हाँ,
आज बातचीत हो पाई है क्या अंदर?
हाँ, बातचीत हुआ है। इसके बाद फिर अभी निकलेंगे।
हाँ।
और ज़्यादा खुश होंगे। इसके बाद आप लोग को इतना खुशी से बताएंगे कि हाँ।
नहीं, हमें पता है आप काफ़ी परेशान भी थी यहाँ काफ़ी दिनों से, लेकिन आज जो जैसी खबर आ रही है, आपको क्या बोला है गवर्नमेंट ने? कुछ बोला है आपको अभी?
हाँ,
क्या करना है?
अभी तो वही जाना है उन लोग के साथ जाना है।
हाँ। आज बातचीत हुई आपके अंदर?
हाँ, हुई है।
क्या बोले हैं?
यही ठीक है।
ठीक है।
हाँ।
आज तो थोड़ा ज़्यादा एक्साइटमेंट होगा, थोड़ी खुशी तो है।
हाँ।
आपके चेहरे पे खुशी दिख रही है।
हाँ।
चलिए, as you can see there, these are the family members who were waiting out here for the last 15-16 days. And initially, I remember when she came in on the first day over here, she was very tensed. She actually started crying on camera as well because she had no idea that how her relative is inside. And now finally, this smile that you are seeing on their faces, this tells the entire story of how emotions have changed over the last 17 days, and how now people are positive that finally their loved ones who were stuck inside will finally come out safely, and they are ready to meet and greet them. So yes, it's just the wait of the next few hours, although the authorities finally have learned that they should not give deadlines, because those deadlines were never followed, especially out here at the Silkyara end of the tunnel, because we have been reporting on how authorities themselves have come on record and said that within the next 2 days, 4 days, 3 days, in fact VK Singh himself told approximately 10 days ago that within the next 3 days they would be able to get people out. Nitin Gadkari also came over here. He also said within 4 to 5 days they will be able to get people out. In fact, Bhaskar Kulbe, the former advisor of the PMO, he came on record, gave interviews and said that the entire operation would come to an end at 6 p.m. just 4 days ago. And now finally the authorities have learned that they should not give any sort of timeline, because these timelines actually raise hopes of the people. And when some obstruction comes, the entire thing comes crashing down, the entire emotion comes crashing down, and it becomes more painful for the people, more disappointing for the people. And hence the timeline is not being given. But what we have been told out here at the Silkyara end of the tunnel, that 5 p.m. is the time by which we can expect that this entire operation would come to an end. We are just waiting for that official confirmation to happen on the pipe being drilled through towards the other end of the tunnel. The breakthrough has been made. It's just a matter of minutes before that pipe would be pushed with that auger machine towards the other end of the tunnel.
Just a few final moments before we could have that final pipe inside, as Anshul is pointing out.
टनल के बाहर सारी तैयारियां कर ली गई है ताकि इन 41 फंसे हुए मजदूरों को सुरक्षित उनके परिवारों तक पहुंचाया जा सके। और अब सभी की निगाहें टनल पर, जहां पर पुष्कर सिंह धाम में ये डॉक्टर अंदर नहीं गए थे। इसका मतलब ये कि जो
जैसा मैंने कहा कि बहुत जल्द आप सबसे पहले इस कैमरे पर आप देखेंगे पहले श्रमिक को बाहर आते हुए, क्योंकि देखिए निकालने की प्रक्रिया शुरू हो चुकी है। इवैक्यूएशन कहाँ लाए श्रमिक को? 12 तारीख की सुबह जो श्रमिक अंदर फंस गए थे वो आज की तारीख में आपको बाहर निकलते हुए दिखाई देंगे। और सबसे पहली तस्वीर टाइम्स नाम और भारत पर आपको देखने को मिलेगी जब वो 41 श्रमिक मुस्कुराते हुए, हालांकि अभी तो संभवतः वो स्टेशन पर आपको निकलते हुए दिखाई देंगे। इसके बाद जो एक अस्थायी अस्पताल खुला बना है जहाँ पर मेडिकल एक्सपर्ट बैठे हुए हैं, एक मेडिकल मीटिंग आपको वहाँ पर भी तस्वीरें दिखाई दे रही है। सबसे पहले उनके सुपरविजन में जाएंगे, वो उनकी निगरानी करेंगे और इसके बाद उन्हें आगे की ओर रवाना किया जाएगा। और इसीलिए संभवतः जो परिजनों को बुलाकर रखा गया है कि एम्बुलेंसेज में
देखिए, मैं तस्वीर दिखाना चाहता हूँ सिलक्यारा
ताकि जो
बाहर की सबसे पहले बाहर की तस्वीर दिखाइए। ये सड़क है, इसी रोड होकर अभी जो 40 श्रमिकों को जो 44 रोड ले जाया जाएगा। आप तस्वीर देखिए, एक एक करके एम्बुलेंस सारे खड़े हो गए हैं और जो एम्बुलेंस है एक एक करके एम्बुलेंस को भेजा जा रहा है। अभी 3 एम्बुलेंस अंदर में है, टनल के अंदर मुख्यमंत्री मोदी है, टनल के बाहर एनडीआरएफ जवान, सेना जवान और आसपास तस्वीर बताऊँ आपको तो आसपास लोग जहाँ जिनको जगह मिल रहा है वहाँ बैठ कर वो देख रहे हैं। वो ये देख रहे हैं क्या सचमुच जो 17 दिन से जो जिंदगी का जंग लड़ रहे थे 41 वो बाहर आ रहे हैं। ये अपने आप में अचंभित करने वाली तस्वीर है। ये नए भारत की तस्वीर है। ये तस्वीर ये बताता है कि हम सिर्फ जीवट ही नहीं है, हमारे पास जो है वो सारी तकनीक है जिसके माध्यम से हम अपने लोगों को बचाने में सक्षम हैं। ये एक तस्वीर है जो ये बताने को चाहती है ये नया भारत ये अंदर आगरा टनल के अंदर की तस्वीर आपको दिख रही है। यहाँ पर मुख्यमंत्री एक तो टीम गई थी, पहली टीम से गई थी एनडीआरएफ। ऐसा प्रतीत होता है कि दूसरी तरफ ड्यूल पाइप के माध्यम से आने का अधिकारी लेकिन आपको मैं तस्वीर के माध्यम से देखिए रोशनी आपको दिख रही है, जो आपको अंतिम रोशनी दिख रही है वो ड्यूल पाइप
आपको हमारे कैमरे पर दिखाई जाएगी और कैमरे के जरिए
हम जो तस्वीर आपको देख पाएंगे हमने जो सामने जो है ड्यूल पाइप को अंदर जवान वहाँ पर गए और वहाँ पर जाकर शारीरिक परीक्षण कर रहे होंगे।
पिछले 10 दिनों में हमारी
महसूस नहीं होने दिया जाएगा कोई यात्रा में या यात्रा में उनकी देखभाल नहीं हो रही थी। पूरी तरह से साजो सामान जो उपकरण है एम्बुलेंस में वो सारे उपकरण है दवाइयाँ हैं। और एक और चीज़ है, ये बताया जा रहा है कि अंदर का जो टेम्परेचर है वो बाहर के टेम्परेचर से तालमेल न कर पाए, यानी कि अंदर की दोनों तरफ से बंद है तो तकरीबन 38 डिग्री के आसपास जो हमारी बातचीत की हालांकि आधिकारिक तौर पर कुछ जानकारी नहीं देती, लेकिन जो 38 डिग्री के आसपास टेम्परेचर था। और जब बाहर निकलेंगे तो उनको यहाँ पर 7 से 8 डिग्री या 9 डिग्री का टेम्परेचर महसूस। इस टेम्परेचर ये कैसे जो समन्वय स्थापित करें, कैसे अनुकूल एडॉप्ट करेंगे टेम्परेचर से, कैसे अनुकूल होंगे, उसके लिए भी व्यवस्था की जाएगी। उनको स्वेटर और जो जैकेट पहनाए जाएंगे और एम्बुलेंस में रखा जाएगा। तो सब तमाम बातों का ध्यान रखा जा रहा है। इसको अनुकूलन की व्यवस्था भी की जा रही है। जैसे जब बाहर निकलेंगे तो यहाँ पे आप जो टेम्परेचर के साथ अनुकूल हो जाए और उनको तमाम जो दवाइयाँ यहाँ पे ले जाया जाएगा एम्बुलेंस के माध्यम से। तो पूरी कोशिश की गई है और ये तैयारी बहुत पहले से की गई, क्योंकि 4 दिन पहले ही ऐसा लगा था कि निकलने वाले हैं, लेकिन जो ऊपर वाले को मंजूर था कि 17 दिन के बाद ही निकलेंगे, तो आज वो निकल गए और एक सुकून आज सभी के चेहरे पर है। और जो कल तक हम लोग बात करते थे यहाँ पर अधिकारी कहते थे पता नहीं कब तक, अब ये पता चल गया कि सबको पता है कि अब जो है जो हमारे शिविर के अंदर वो दूर नहीं है, हमारे पास अब बीच की जो दीवार है कुछ मीटर की तरह, वो उस दीवार को हमने तोड़ दिया। वो हमारे इंजीनियर हमारे जो एक्सपर्ट उस दीवार को छेद करके चाहे बाधाएं कितनी भी क्यों न तो दूसरी बात और निश्चित तौर पर स्वर में फंसे हुए उनके भी चेहरे उनको लगा कर रहा होगा हम पहुँचने वाले हैं, फिर से अपने घर पहुँचने वाले हैं। जीवन की दौड़ जो है तरह से आप कह सकते हैं एक्सपर्ट जो है वहाँ पहुँच चुके हैं। जो बाहर की बात करें तो बाहर में आप बाहर और यहाँ पर दिखाइए इस तरह से इसको मंदिर सब जारी बैठे हैं। आप देखिए उसके बगल में आप देखिए ऊपर जहाँ पे कल भवन हुआ था वहाँ पर
in from our other colleagues as well, multiple colleagues from within the network on ground zero in Uttarkashi. But let's go back to our colleague Anshul, who's also been there for the last 2 weeks, and he's been speaking to not just rescue teams but family members as well. And Anshul, it was so good to finally see a smile on the faces of the family members. You've also developed a bond with them. We've been seeing their reactions over the last 2 weeks. Finally, a sigh of relief for all of them. But initially, I was asking you, just help us understand what is the protocol that's going to be followed immediately after the first worker is going to be pulled out. Talk to us about the kind of medical checkups that will happen, the makeshift hospital that has also been put in place.
Yes, the protocol that would be followed initially, as soon as they would come out, they would first be given warm clothes, because the temperature inside the tunnel is somewhere around the 25 to 30 degrees Celsius mark, whereas the temperature outside here in Uttarkashi is somewhere around the 8 to 10 degrees Celsius mark. So yes, there is going to be a massive change in temperature as these people would be come out, and hence initially they would be given warm clothes, and then they would be given glasses and masks as well at this point in time, because glasses become really important because they haven't had any access to any sort of sunlight over the last 17 days, and hence suddenly coming out in bright sunlight might affect their eyes, and hence glasses would be given to them, and that is something that has been taken inside the tunnel, is what we can confirm to our viewers at this point in time. After that, the doctor who would be on the ground, the CMO who would be present on the ground, he would ask them about the medical emergency or the medical needs that he might need, how is he
और आप पता नहीं वो क्या सोच रहे हैं, किस तरह की मेंटलिटी चल रही है, किस तरह की जो है सोच रही होगी, लेकिन वो ये भविष्य पता नहीं कब मौत आ जाए। मौत को मात देकर निकलने का नाम जो है ये इस्लामिक मजलूम, मौत को मात देकर ये जब इस्लामिक मजलूम तब अपनी सरकार लगातार बात लगा और 5 बार से लेकर 6 बार बात दायित्व का निर्वहन करने से ये तस्वीर पूरी दुनिया में दिखी और आप जो है भाई रोइटर्स में जा रहा पूरी दुनिया अब ठीक है दादा ஆம்புலன்ஸ் தயார் நிலையில இருக்கு, என்டிஆர் தயார் நிலையில இருக்காங்க, எஸ்டிஆர் தயார் நிலையில இருக்கிறாங்க. 3 வகையில அவங்க அந்த குழாய் வழியா வெளியே வருவாங்கன்னு சொல்லப்படுது. முதலாவது என்டிஆர்எஃப் எஸ்டிஆர்எஃப் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்கள் சின்னதா இருக்கும் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்களை உள்ளாடுவாங்க. மருத்துவர்கள் வெளியே வரதையும் நம்ம பார்க்கும்போது அவங்க அந்த பிபி செக் பண்ணக்கூடிய அவங்களோட உபகரணங்களோட வெளியே இந்த ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்கள் மூலியமா
अरे वो जा रही आर्मी जा रही है। ओ भैया मोबाइल, हेलो भाई साहब बहुगुना जी थोड़ा सा
மூன்றாவது அவங்க திடகாத்திரமா இருக்கிறாங்கன்னா அவங்களே தவிர்த்து வெளியே வந்துருவாங்க. ஸோ இதுதான் அந்த சிச்சுவேஷனா இருக்கு. இப்போ நம்ம அந்த காட்சிகளை நம்ம பார்க்கிறோம். ஆர்மி ராணுவத்தினரும் இப்போ உள்ள போயிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. மருத்துவ குழு தயாரா இருக்கு. ஆம்புலன்ஸ்கள் தயார் நிலையில வைக்கப்பட்டிருக்குது. எஸ்டிஆர்எஃப் என்டிஆர்எஃப் உள்ள போயிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஸோ வி கேன் எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் எனி டைம் இந்த நேரத்திலிருந்து எந்த நேரம் வேண்டுமானாலும் அவங்க வரலாம். அந்த குழாய் முழுமையா அந்த ஆக்கிரமிப்புகள் அனைத்தும் அகற்றப்பட்டுச்சு.
NDRF would then go inside it.
बगल में ये काम बेचने का काम किया गाजा गाजा 200 मीटर का काम किया 2 किलोमीटर का काम किया 1700 किलोमीटर का काम किया नीचे की बात सिलक्यारा यहाँ पर மாதிரியான அமைப்பையும் அதன் மேலே படுக்கையும் வைத்து அவர்களை அழைத்து வருவதற்காக உள்ளே செல்கிறார்கள். அப்படி என்றால் கிட்டத்தட்ட அந்த மீட்பு பணி என்பது நிறைவடைந்து விட்டது என்பதாக நாம் அந்த தருணத்தில் புரிந்து கொள்ளலாம். எப்பொழுது வேண்டுமானாலும் அந்த ஊழியர்கள் 41 பேரும் வெளியே வருவார்கள் என்பதுதான் தற்போதைக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய நிலைமையாக अचानक बरकरार बन गया और इसकी वजह से अंदर काम करने वो लगी हुई है ना। देखिए कितना नंबर है 50 हो सकती है क्योंकि हमारी बात 03 P1 मेरी है और 50 के आसपास संख्या हो सकती है वो भी मेरी है। P01 से 2 है ना 40 संख्या है जो बात आजकल। अच्छा ठीक है और उसमें देखना P01 की कितनी चार्ज हो गई पहले प्रयास क्या हुआ इसके बारे में बताना जरूरी है। क्या रहे आप कितना 13 और 14 तारीख को पहले और दूसरे वाले का मलबा आता है चलो होने जब मलबा 20 मीटर 22 मीटर मलबा आता है उसके बाद अचानक मलबा 1 बार चालू फिर उत्तराखंड सरकार भारत सरकार के साथ
बड़ी जानकारी दी है बहुत सारे बड़े पार्क थे हो सकता है कि आखिरी का जो हिस्सा है वो हो गया हो जिससे ठीक किया जा रहा है जो विशेष जानकारी और उसके बाद और आप देखिए जो मैं कह रहा था थोड़ी देर पहले कि काफी की बॉडी लैंग्वेज जो दिखाई दे रही है मुझे लगता है कि शायद उसी के जरिए एनडीआरएफ के लोग अंदर गए होंगे और फिर उन्हें फोन किया गया होगा और फिर आकर उन्होंने बताया होगा कि ये एक दिक्कत है उस दिक्कत को पहले दूर कर देते हैं और उसके बाद
इस तरह के मामले आने की संभावना जो हिमालय को कहते हैं नया पहाड़ है, युवा पहाड़ है, अभी भी बढ़ रहा है। तो यहाँ जो चट्टान है या तो मिट्टी से बने ये पहाड़ है या फिर बढ़ता है चट्टान या यहाँ पर कह सकते हैं आपस में
is happening as we speak, and once these pipes are pushed in, we can break this news to our viewers that finally the first person would come out within a matter of minutes.
Anshul continuing to report for us from ground zero over the last 2 weeks. He's pointing out
मसावट पहाड़ों में बहुत कम है, यहाँ आसपास दूर दूर घर जरूर रहते हैं, लेकिन जब ये पता चला कि 12 तारीख को यहाँ पर इस तरह का हादसा हुआ है तो आसपास के लोग यहाँ पर
any risk at this point, taking their time to ensure that this final hurdle can be overcome without any challenges and the workers can be pulled out. Let's listen into some reports coming in from our other colleagues as well.
अपना काम छोड़कर यहाँ पर पहुंचे हुए हैं और आसपास के लोग
यहाँ पे हवन हुआ और इसका असर जो अलग अलग स्पॉट उनको भी लगा कि हम हुनर अपने हुनर के लिए भगवान का साथ करते हैं और सारी मजदूर आप सभी और बाहर ये लगभग कोई नहीं अंदर शायद बातचीत कर रहे हैं और जो डॉक्टर्स अंदर वो न्यायालय वो भी वहाँ तक
तमाम मजदूर भाइयों की कुशलता की काम
17 का जो मैराथन सरकार के प्रयास को बदला, दुआओं को बदला, प्रार्थना को बदला, अब तमाम 41 बच्चे वो बाहर करने वाले और जो देश के उन परिवारों के लिए खुशखबरी है अपने भी 4 दिन हाथ लगाए कहाँ ला रहा है और वो बाहर कहाँ लाए श्रमिक
प्रयास वो भी इसमें कोई कोर का
जो बाहर सबसे पहले बाहर ये सड़क इसी रोड होकर अभी अपने आप को अचंभित करने वाले किसान ये नए भारत में ये तस्वीर ये बताता है कि हम सिर्फ जीवन ही नहीं हमारे पास वो सारी तकनीकें समझ के माध्यम से हम हमसे मदद की जाती है और तस्वीर है जो ये बताने का कई बार चाहे कई बार पहल के अंदर एक तो
few minutes as we are speaking. Probably in the next 10 to 15 minutes we might get that official confirmation of the first person being pulled out. But yes, I'll just try and show you in the visuals over here the kind of movement that is already happening at this point in time. The ambulance have absolutely been kept in all readiness. As soon as the people will come out, the first person will get the medical aid that he needs. As soon as that process ends, he will be loaded in one of these ambulances and he will be sent right to Chinali Sort, where the makeshift hospital has been made. Then for the second, then for the third. So this is the sequence of events that is going to happen. At this point in time, there is calmness that can be seen on the ground. Yes, there are a few fake reports floating at this point in time that people have started coming out, but there is absolutely no confirmation on that. In fact, what we have been told by the way of sources is that there are the last pipe is being sent inside the tunnel. This is a 3-meter pipe that is being drilled through right inside. So once that process ends, then the team of NDRF will go in, and then we will get those visuals of people coming out. You can see the calmness that pertains this entire area. If at all people would have started coming out, we would have seen a lot of rush that might have happened over here. But yes, there is absolute calmness, and the last pipe is being sent inside. A 3-meter distance needs to be covered through that pipe because the rescuers do not want to end it at the 57-meter mark, because if at all there is some movement and more debris falls, then it could actually block the entry yet again of the pipe, and hence they are pushing this pipe through at least 3 meters ahead of the portion where the debris ends, and that process is underway right now. So once that is done, then NDRF team will go inside and then it will start pulling out people. So that is going to take another 15 to 20 minutes is what we are expecting, and also from our experience that we have learned over the last 17 days that how much amount of time does it take for a pipe to actually go inside. In the next 15 to 20 minutes we are expecting that to happen, and post that we will tell our viewers as how these people will finally start to come out from the debris.
So what Anshul is pointing out is very important to note, that the teams are not taking any risk, and they in fact are not going to stop with the pipe just at the 57-meter mark. They don't want to take any risk. Last minute, if any debris falls, it shouldn't be able to block the entry. So they're in fact going to go further beyond that 57-meter mark, 3 meters further, to ensure that now there is no more challenges or hurdle as far as these workers are concerned, and that's important to note. Anshul, also help us understand what is the other kind of arrangement that is being made. You've been reporting that family members of these trapped workers have also been called to the side. Some of them have already moved inside the tunnel with luggage. Understandably, they'll need warm clothes and others. Help us understand what is the kind of coordination that's happening with the family members on the site.
So yes, a lot of coordination has been taking place over the last 17 days. If you see the manner in which the authorities have been trying to make sure that these people stay calm, because if at all they lose their hope, they lose their emotion, and the people who are inside, they will also lose hope and they will also get emotional. And that was one of the toughest tasks at hand for the entire rescue team. I can just show you in the visuals over here. This is how the family members are now standing with abated breath right outside the tunnel, waiting for those orders to just come in, as to so that they can go inside and meet with their loved ones, feel and touch them after 17 long days. They have been waiting very patiently over here. A lot of mental health, mental stamina it takes, strength it takes for people to actually know that the people who are stuck inside, will they be able to get out? What is their condition? After knowing all this, the kind of situation that is inside the tunnel, will they be able to survive in such pressure? These people have been waiting out here patiently, and now finally they have been called in. They have been asked to get the warm clothes of their family members who are stuck inside, and it's just a wait of the next few minutes. One by one, all these people would be called in as the relative gets out of the tunnel. One by one, all these people would be called in. They would be allowed to meet with them over there. Then all of them would be put into ambulances together, and then they would be taken away from here. So a lot of planning has been made. The authorities have also made sure that there is no need to keep any sort of secret about the health conditions of any person, because each and every person is fine, is what the authorities have claimed from day one, and hence the family members would be allowed to meet with their loved ones right here at ground zero, and post that all of them would be taken away from here. So yes, a lot of planning has been done. Probably the easiest part of this entire operation will start within the next few minutes. At this point in time, we have been told that yes, we are expecting these people to start coming out any time now. probably as we speak, we might get that news very, very shortly that the first person might have come out. But yes, at this point in time, the pipes are being pushed through. Once the pipe pushed through, another 5 minutes for the NDRF team to go inside and make the setup, and then we can expect the first person to come out, which could happen anytime within the next 10 to 15 minutes as we speak.
Very crucial last moments as far as this great rescue is concerned. The ordeal will finally end for these 41 trapped workers, and also this ordeal will end for the family members who've been waiting with bated breath outside. Anshul continues to be with us. Anshul, as you were rightly pointing out, the multiple hurdles and challenges that we've seen over the last 2 weeks, there have been challenges in terms of the medical facilities that can be provided to these trapped workers as well. Setting up this makeshift hospital also hasn't been easy.
Definitely, in a place like Uttarkashi, it is a very small district, and it's suddenly arranging 41 beds for patients is something that was never thought of out here, especially in Uttarkashi. And probably, thankfully, due to the pandemic, there was a community center hospital that was established in Uttarkashi, in Chinali South, which is just a few kilometers away from here, and that has yet again proven to be a beneficial pit stop for all these workers. Otherwise, these people would have been taken to all the way to AIIMS Rishikesh, which would have taken a lot of time, and also the manner in which the night flying is not allowed over here. And so yes, it might have taken a lot of time, but yes, this hospital, the makeshift hospital that has been made over here, that also played a very, very crucial role in this entire rescue operations. The minor injuries that the rescuers were having during the rescue operations, that all got treated over here. The people inside who were complaining of nausea, people inside were complaining of headaches, of an upset stomach, all those things, all those medicines were provided immediately from the hospital that is set up over here. So yes, a lot of planning has happened, and a lot of planning has gone underway. And at this point in time, you can see these team of doctors. भैया कहाँ से आए आप? अंदर हो रहा है, ऑपरेशन चल रहा है.
Billy, numero Billy. Tutto Billy, come si illa? Billy. एक्स्ट्रा बैटरी लो कैमरा बैटरी चार्जर लो जी बिल्कुल चार्जर बड़ी खबर यही है कि NDRF वो अंदर अपने काम में और टीम के सदस्य कुछ सदस्य न्यू पाइप के माध्यम से दूसरी तरफ पहुंच गए हैं. एक तो नीचे ही टीम के जो सदस्य हैं वो दूसरी तरफ पहुंच गए हैं. वहां से उनसे बातचीत हो रही है, उनका जो मुआयना किया जा रहा है. शारीरिक परीक्षा
to get these visuals of the workers being pulled out.
और स्ट्रेचर के माध्यम से
So yes, within the next few minutes we will start getting those visuals. We'll have to get at a vantage point to get those visuals at this point in time. But yes, that is something that is what we were waiting for. And as soon as these people will come out, we are seeing the kind of arrangements that has already been made over here by the rescue team. And those visuals are not very, very far away. We have been told that it's just a matter of minutes before the first person will be pulled out. Everything is in readiness. All the arrangements have been made to the T, and just in the next 5 to 7 minutes, we will get those visuals. The CM, the Chief Minister, is inside the tunnel. General VK Singh is very much inside the tunnel. And in the next 10 to 15 minutes, we are expecting them to actually come out and tell us how this entire rescue operation has went, and finally to confirm once for officially coming out and officially confirm that yes, the first person has been taken out successfully from behind the debris, which would mean that this entire operation that has been put in place, this operation has become successful. So yes, a lot of hurdles that were faced. Finally, just the last few minutes before we are expecting this operation to come to an end, and hopefully we are hoping at this point in time that probably the auger machine that got stuck a day before yesterday, or approximately 36 hours ago, inside the debris, was probably the last obstruction that they might have to face. Now finally, we hope that there are no more obstructions that is happening over here. I'll just try and show you in the visuals over here how colorful is this entire environment becoming. People, these are the local people who have gathered over here, singing songs, praying to God that the entire operation becomes successful. You can hear, I'll just try and speak to them. So these are the local folk songs, a lot of color that can be seen over here. Finally these people are confident that that the good news is not that far away, and that is the reason why celebrations have already started. भैया क्या उम्मीद है आपकी? आप कॉन्फिडेंट है कि अब हो गया?
पूरा है कि
पूरा हो गया।
सारे लोग सब कुशल जो है खुली हवा में सांस लेंगे।
बाबा भोगनाथ की बात, खुश है आप भोगनाथ?
बाहर निकाला जाएगा एक एक करके, और ये मौसम क्यों जरूरी है, जो यूके नेता से चर्चा कर रहे थे, हर एक चीज को आखिरी समय पर भी जांचा परखा जाता है, आखिरी तौर पर भी जांचा परखा जाना इसलिए जरूरी है कि सब कुछ हमने अचीव कर लिया तो लास्ट में कोई हर्डल ना आ जाए, कोई एक गुंजाइश। और ये हर बार हर दिन की प्रेस मीटिंग में पिछले 16-17 दिनों में ये बार क्लियर किया गया था कि हम कभी भी किसी भी जल्दबाजी में नहीं होंगे, जो भी स्टेप उठाएंगे उसे जांचेंगे, पढ़ेंगे और उसके बाद उस पर अमल करेंगे, और यही रिस्पॉन्स होता है। इसीलिए थोड़ा समय लग रहा है, और पूरा रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन मुझे लगता है अगले 2 से 2.5 घंटों में पूरा हो जाएगा।
बिल्कुल, सबसे पहले मैं आपको बता दूं कि ये बताया था 3 बजे के आसपास जो रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन आप ये हमारे जो सूत्र हैं वो पूरी तरह से सही साबित हुए हैं, और 3 बजे के आसपास और ये यहाँ पे एक्टिविटी शुरू है।
A very historic and happy moment out here at the Silkyara tunnel site.
As Anshul is pointing out that you can suddenly see a change as far as the mood on the ground is concerned, and understandably so. People have been waiting with bated breath to try and see these visuals, to try and hear the good news that these workers in fact have been rescued. Some reactions coming in. Okay, we'll try and get those reactions in just a bit, but our colleague Anshul continues to be with us. And Anshul, as you were right,
और वहाँ पर वही मैनुअल ड्रिल चला, और यहाँ पर अब निकालने वाले ये बड़ी खबर ये है कि मुख्यमंत्री बड़ी खबर ये है जनरल वीके सिंह यही है और ऑपरेशन को अंजाम दे रहे हैं। बड़ी खबर ये है जनरल हरपाल सिंह अंदर में है। बड़ी खबर ये है कि एनडीआरएफ की चीफ में बहुत ज्यादा हो। बड़ी खबर ये है कि एनडीआरएफ की चीफ और बातचीत चल रही है, उसके अंदर ये चल रही है और कब निकाला जाए, कितनी देर में निकाला जाए। पहले चाहते हैं वो चाहते हैं पहले इस बात को लेकर सब कुछ महसूस ठीक और जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट यहाँ से हमने जो किया था वो एम्बुलेंस में कुछ और इंस्ट्रूमेंट को ट्रॉली पर रखकर जो रास्ते के माध्यम से अंदर पहुंचा गया और उसके बाद डॉक्टर
800mm diameter pipe, it is pushing in at a very constant speed, so that there is absolutely no movement in the debris, because if at all there is movement in the debris, then the debris will fall yet again manual drilling would need to be done. So yes, the machine that is at work right now is pushing it with all safety, with all the concerns, making sure that there is absolutely no vibrations that happened when the pipe is being pushed through, and that is the reason why it is taking time for the rescuers to push that pipe through, because it is happening at a slow speed, is what we are being told. So yes, the rescuers know that they have already gotten excited many a times and they have fallen flat on their faces. For example, the last time the ground penetration report that came out, when it said that over the next 5.4 meters there are no heavy metal pieces, and hence they came on record and said that they are going to push through the auger machine with more strength, and that is something that they did. And just 2 meters after that, the entire auger machine got stuck in such a way that it took 36 hours for the rescuers to actually clean that auger machine from the pipe itself. So this time around they are ready to not make those mistakes. They are confident that they'll be able to go through at a constant speed. Yes, people are excited, people are happy, but they are making sure, the rescuers are making sure that the excitement does not push back the entire operation yet again.
Okay, Anshul, we'll request you to stay on with us. The final minutes, we're keeping a very close eye on those developments. Some crucial reactions coming in.
पैसेज बनाने की पहले कोशिश हुई, वो नाकामयाब।
आर पार हो गई है पाइप।
मलबा हटाने की कोशिश हुई, वो नाकामयाब रहा। फ्यूम पाइप डालने की पहले ऑगर मशीन देहरादून से मंगाया गया, वो टूट गया। फिर एयरलिफ्ट करके एक मशीन को दिल्ली से लाया गया, उसमें खराबी आ गई। फिर उसके बाद इंदौर से एक मशीन ऑगर मशीन चलाया गया, उसमें भी बार बार दिक्कतें आ रही थी। अब जब फ्यूम मशीन एक काम करना बंद कर दिया, जब उसका एक पार्ट टूट के उसी पाइप में फंस गया, तब ऐसा लगा कि जैसे जो प्लान ए फेल होता हुआ था। प्लान ए ये था कि फ्यूम पाइप को इंस्टॉल करेंगे, सील करके मलबे के बीच से, और फिर उस फ्यूम पाइप के माध्यम से निकाल लेंगे सभी 39 मजदूर। जब ये प्लान फेल होता हुआ था तो प्लान बी पर उतरा गया। प्लान बी क्या था?
Long 17 days. The final pipe has also gone inside. What Anshul was pointing out a short while ago is crucial, that the rescue teams aren't stopping with the pipe at just 57 meters, which was the crucial point, but they're going further inside to ensure that this time around the debris cannot block the entry point. Before we go back to our colleagues, some other reactions coming in.
मोदी है तो मुमकिन क्या ऊपर से ड्रिलिंग सुरक्षित रहेगा, क्योंकि ड्रिलिंग में एक खतरा ये था कि मिट्टी जो है वो बुलबुली मिट्टी होने के कारण ऊपर से गिरने की संभावना थी। अगर ऐसा होता तो टनल एक जगह से और बाधित हो जाता, लेकिन सबको ये उम्मीद थी कि ऑगर मशीन को टुकड़े को काट दिया जाएगा, बाहर निकाल लिया जाएगा। कल शाम जैसे ही सभी टुकड़े को निकाला गया, उसके बाद जब एक्सपर्ट अंदर गए, जो चूहा ड्रिलिंग जिसको हम आमतौर पर कहते हैं, चूहा खुदाई, वो की गई, तो अंदर देखा गया कि एक सरिये का जाल था। सरिये के जाल को काटने में काफ़ी समय लगा। इसके बाद जब थोड़ा सा आगे बढ़ा गया तो पता चला वहाँ पे लोहे के पैनल्स थे, उसको काटा गया। फिर क्योंकि उसके बाद फिर मिट्टी बुलबुली थी और अंतिम लगभग छोड़ के पहुँच गए थे, तो छोटे छोटे बोल्डर्स थे, जिसको तोड़ कर जो ब्रेक थ्रू किया, और ब्रेक थ्रू तकरीबन जो है 1:30 बजे के आसपास जो है 1 से 1:30 के बीच में मिल गया। उसके बाद दूसरी प्रक्रिया अपनाई गई, जो बाहर की रणनीति के ऊपर काम उसको एक्टिवेट किया गया। बाहर का क्या उसको एक्टिवेट किया, बाहर का प्लान के साथ हर जो मजदूर है उसके लिए एक एम्बुलेंस डेडिकेटेड हो, और एम्बुलेंस में सारी सुविधाएं। तो यहाँ पे जैसे ही पता चला वैसे ही जगह के अंदर पहुँची और उन्होंने अधिकारियों से कर्मचारियों से बातचीत की। तकरीबन 1.5-2 घंटे के अंदर हुए। हरपाल जो DRF के डायरेक्टर हैं वो भी अंदर ही लगातार तमाम SDRF की लगातार बातचीत करना और अंदर रेस्क्यू को अंजाम देने में लगे। कुल मिला के देखा जाए तो कभी भी रेस्क्यू जो है रेस्क्यू का काम अंदर एम्बुलेंस जो है 3 एम्बुलेंस अंदर है, एक और एम्बुलेंस जो है अब एम्बुलेंस जो अंदर अधिकतर एम्बुलेंस 8 घंटे तक 41 एम्बुलेंस और जो 41 एम्बुलेंस उनके द्वारा सबको बाहर निकाला जाएगा। और हम जो आपके निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और ये देख रहे हैं क्योंकि अब टेलीफोन के अंदर है तो बातचीत की जा सकती है। तो जो तमाम और रेस्क्यू का काम किया जा रहा है, और तमाम जो चेहरे हैं इस चेहरे पर सकारात्मक भाव है। आज दिन में बारिश भी आई, 2 दिनों के लिए मौसम खराब हो गया, उसके बाद ऑपरेशन में डाला, लेकिन मौसम ने भी जो रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन में लगे लोगों का पूरा साथ दिया। इन जो भगवान की मेहरबान और हल्की बारिश बूंदाबांद बनी और उसके बाद फिर से जो है इंसाफ हो गया। हालांकि लेकिन मौसम अभी फिर भी साफ है, बादल जरूर है, लेकिन ये बादल जो है एक तरह से अब ऐसा लग रहा है कि चलते लगभग जब ये सारे रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन पूरे हो जाएंगे तो आमतौर पर जो लोगों की कोशिश यही है कि सभी को निकाला जाए, जल्दी से जल्दी निकाला जाए, क्योंकि जब एक बार वो निकलने शुरू होंगे तो फिर पूरा यहाँ से लेकर चिड़ियाली चौक तक वो ग्रीन जोन में बदल जाएगा। चिड़ियाली चौक का बड़ी नजर लेकिन वहीं पर सभी रखा जाएगा। डेडिकेटेड वार्ड बनाया गया है, उस वार्ड में 41 बेड है, 41 लेकिन अभी तक जो जानकारी है, अभी तक जो बातें हुई है डॉक्टर्स के माध्यम से या फिर जो हमारे पास हवाले से सभी कुछ चीजें होती हैं, सर दर्द होना, आँख में अंदर मलबे है, आँख में दर्द होना है और एंजाइटी इस तरह की चीजें होती है तो उसकी दवाई भी देती है और बताया जा रहा है कि इस तरह से आपको दवाई तो ये प्रक्रिया चल रही है। अभी 7-8 दिनों से पूरी तरह से खाना भी पौष्टिक खाना भेजा जा रहा है, क्वालिटी दी जा रही है, ऑफिसर पर भेजे जा रहे हैं। जब उसी खाने में की बात करें तो आज जो पका हुआ भोजन भेजा जा रहा है और व्यवस्था वो लगातार भेजे जा रहे हैं और यहाँ पर अब सबकी निगाह बस टनल की तरफ।
41 beds already ready. You have 41 ambulances also on standby. You have General V.K. Singh, you have the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Pushkar Singh Dhami, and all the other rescue team officials also currently in the tunnel as we speak. This is literally the last hour, moments before we could see the first visual of that worker in fact being pulled out. It's been an ordeal that has lasted a lot more than what was anticipated initially. On the 17th day is when teams who've been working round the clock managed to achieve this breakthrough. There have been a lot of changes as far as the rescue plan is concerned. It started with horizontal drilling, then we went to vertical drilling, came back to vertical drilling. Auger machines were brought in from different parts of the country, but at the end of the day it was a rat mining process, which means it had to be manually drilled within small intervals that finally achieved some success as far as this rescue operation is concerned. And as our colleagues continue to point out, matter of minutes before you had the NDRF teams going inside and pulling out the first of these 41 workers, some of their family members, as we said, in the tunnel already with some key essentials. So what will happen after we see the first visual of these workers being pulled out? They're directly going to be put in ambulances, separate ambulances that are on standby, and then taken to this makeshift hospital where they in fact will be given a medical checkup and the basic essentials. A lot of doctors also worried about their health conditions. The good news is 17 days on, the health of all the 41 workers is okay, is being monitored continuously. Over the last few days, we've seen an endoscopic camera that was sent inside the tunnel, a microphone, a speaker was also sent inside so that constant communication could happen with these workers. And finally, that day has arrived where these workers will finally come out and they will be reunited with their families. All of this playing out in real time in Uttarkashi in Uttarakhand. As we pointed out, there have been multiple challenges over the last few days. The movement and the clearing of the debris has been the biggest challenge as far as these rescue teams are concerned. There have been metal pieces that have been found on the way. There have been certain pipes that have broken down. All of this now a thing of the past, because the final pipe also in fact has gone inside, and this will allow the NDRF teams also to go in and then pull out the first worker.
आखिर क्या और ताज़ा अपडेट है, कितना और वक्त लगेगा, लेकिन सबसे खास बात ये कि बहुत कुछ कम वक्त ही रह गया है जब टनल से
और तमाम अधिकारियों के चेहरे पे थोड़ी
बिल्कुल अपडेट नहीं है ठीक किया जा रहा है, किसी भी तरह की खबर आ सकती है। तो जो निकालने का फाइनल काम है वो शुरू हो चुका है, क्योंकि
जो इंटरव्यू दे दीजिए
हो चुकी है। कैसे उन्हें निकाला जाएगा, कैसे उन्हें स्टेशन के जरिए जिसमें स्कर्ट्स लगे हुए हैं, कैसे उन्हें बाहर पुल किया जाएगा। दो एनडीआरएफ के जवान ऑलरेडी जो पिछले हिस्से में बनने के उत्पाद श्रमिक भाई है उनके पास तो मौजूद है, बाकी एनडीआरएफ के लोग ही तो रहे। की आवाजाही और अब जानकारी है कि किसी भी वक्त की खबर आ सकती है कि अब निकालने का काम शुरू हो चुका है। और
अगर
इस पर काफी
आप इस तरह
राहत भरा ये पल होगा।
अगर मशीन जब ये पता चलता है यहाँ पर
राहत भरा
चलने
पल
लगी है तो लोगों को उम्मीदें चढ़ने लगती है, उम्मीदें बढ़ने लगती है। अगर मशीन नहीं थी वो उम्मीद की मशीन, और उम्मीद की मशीन है। भले ही अंतिम समय में अंतिम वो ब्रेक थ्रू से ठीक पहले जवाब दे गई ये मशीन, लेकिन उम्मीदों की मशीन जब चलती थी तो लोगों को उम्मीद होता था, लोग टकटकी लगा के देखते थे कि शायद अब थोड़ी देर के बाद ब्रेक थ्रू मिलने वाला है। जब ये पता चलता था मशीन बैठ गई तो लोगों का दिल बैठने लगता था, लोगों का धैर्य जवाब देने लगता था, जब जो परिजन थे उनका धैर्य जवाब देने लगता था। तो ये जो ऑगर मशीन लाया गया वो उम्मीदों की मशीन थी, और जब उम्मीदों की मशीन पर ये पता चला कि अब इसका पार्ट टूट के उसमें चला गया तो ऐसा लगा कि ये जो 49 मीटर का दायरा अब तो निकालना मुश्किल है। फिर हैदराबाद से प्लाज्मा मशीन आई, उसको कटर से काट के बाहर निकाला गया। प्लाज्मा मशीन के बारे में जो हमारी एनडीआरएफ की बात है तो उसमें एक दिक्कत आ रही है जो शायद बहुत कम लोग अभी उनको पता हो कि प्लाज्मा मशीन ऑगर मशीन के टुकड़े को ऊपर से तो काट दे रही थी, लेकिन नीचे काटते वक्त पाइप कट रहा था।
Video that we have access actually clearly tells the story of how the first aid that would be given to these people would be initially given from inside the tunnel itself, and post that these people would be checked up, their blood pressures would be checked up, and then they would be loaded into these ambulances along with their family members, and then they would leave from here to Chinalisor, where the entire makeshift hospital has now been made. So yes, it's just a matter of few minutes, probably the next 5 to 7 minutes as we are counting down to it. We will get that information that the first person has finally come out from the rescue tunnel that has been made by the rescuers. At this point in time, officials have confirmed that absolutely no one has come out from the pipe at this point in time. In fact, all the people who are stuck inside are still inside. The operation that is underway right now is pushing off that 800 millimeter pipe inside the auger, inside the tunnel, and that is something that is happening at this point. There have been a lot of fake news and rumors that has been doing rounds of people have started to come out. All those reports are absolutely false. The latest update is that the hospital has been set up inside the tunnel itself, and within the next few minutes we are expecting that the first person would be pulled out. NDRF is about to take control of this operation within the next few minutes, and once the NDRF takes control of the operations, then we can expect within the next 5 minutes the people would start coming out. At this point in time, the operations are still within the hand of the rescuers and not with the NDRF, is what officials have now confirmed to CNN News 18, and now we are just awaiting for the NDRF to take over that operation. That operation would be only taken over once the entire pipe is pushed through at least 3 meters inside the debris. In fact, on the other side, once the pipe goes approximately 3 meters to the length, then only the NDRF will take over this operation, and then we can expect that these people would start coming out one by one with utmost safety and utmost precision, because no one wants that. Over the last 17 days, these people have been safe inside. No one wants to hurt them while they get out to rescue and try to breathe in the fresh air and try to see the mountains in which they have been working for the last 4.5 hours, but they have been stuck inside that tunnel, and now finally we are expecting that they will come out. Everything is planned, everything is in action right now. Family members, as you can see, are still waiting outside. The family members have not been yet ordered to go inside. They are still awaiting for that order from the officials at this point. Once that order comes in, then one by one these people will go inside, meet with their family members, get their checkups done, and post that we can expect that this entire operation would eventually then come to an end. As we are speaking, these visuals that you are seeing on your screens right now is actually telling the entire story of how these people who have been stuck inside for the last 17 days will start to come out within the next few minutes as we are speaking. NDRF is just about to take the operation take the operation over, and once the NDRF takes this operation over, we can expect that this entire thing would come to find its logical conclusion that we have been waiting for, which means that within the next few minutes, once the NDRF takes over the operation, within the next few minutes, the persons would start coming out, the people would start coming out one by one. At this point in time, the visuals that that our viewers are seeing on their screens right now actually tells the entire story of how the rescue operation is now planned, and now how the last and the easiest part of the rescue operation is underway.
So as Anshul is pointing out, these visuals that we've accessed are very crucial, because what they tell us is that there is a makeshift hospital that's been made right by one. You have some key machines and doctors right inside the tunnel who will be monitoring these trapped workers and then transferring them to the ambulances eventually to that makeshift hospital. What Anshul is also pointing out is all of this now in the last stage, but the rescue teams are not hurrying up this process. They do not want any one wrong decision to have an entire the entire result to not go their way. What we're also understanding, you have family members of these workers also inside the tunnel, but they also haven't been pushed further inside. You have key officials on the ground. You have the Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami, who's been at the tunnel site over the last few hours. You have General VK Singh and other officials also now inside the tunnel. What the NDRF teams have been telling us over the last few days, that once they have access, the first minute that they get in, they will start pulling out these workers one by one, and it will take them about 2 minutes each to pull out each worker. There are about 41 of them. Anshul continues to be on the ground. So Anshul, these visuals that we continue to stay with, a makeshift hospital right inside the tunnel, doctors, rescue teams not wanting to take any chance, wanting to monitor and have these checks on the workers the minute they're pulled out. Any movement that you're seeing around you?
So yes, some local VIP movement is happening over here. The local MLAs are now reaching on this spot just to be a part of this very historic photo op that is going to happen once these people start coming out. And definitely, especially the political leaders, do not want to go ahead and miss this opportunity of this very historic photo op that is going to happening, and hence these people are now coming in slowly just to make sure that they are a part of this photo op whenever that happens. So yes, it is just a matter of few minutes as we are speaking. The Havan that we were speaking about, that Havan is still underway. The Pandits are still atop this. Then became happy and said that now fine. As we are speaking, the Havan is underway. People are inside. The family members are outside. NDRF is just about to take over the operations, and once the NDRF takes over the operation in the next 5 to 7 minutes, we will get that news of the first person coming out from inside the tunnel. So yes, just the next few minutes that we are waiting for. The rescuers are very, very cautious at this point to make sure that the operation doesn't get hampered with the excitement that is prevalent at this point in time. And once the NDRF takes over the operation, once the pipe is drilled through at least 3 meters behind the debris, then the NDRF would be handed over the rescue operations, and then the NDRF team would go inside and bring out people, pull out people one by one, and then the initial checkup would happen. If at all people need any sort of medicine or complain of anything that could be treated over here, they would be given those first aid treatment over here, and then from here they would be taken to Chinali Resort, where the makeshift hospital has been made, and they would be kept under observation for the next 24 hours over there.
So Anshul pointing out two crucial things, that it's a matter of minutes before the NDRF takes over this operation, which means once the NDRF takes over, they will start pulling out these trapped workers, 41 of them. We're currently getting visuals of a makeshift hospital that has been made right inside the tunnel. There are mattresses inside the tunnel, oxygen cylinders, a basic hospital setup that has been put in place to provide the first checkup as soon as these workers are pulled out. Remember, it's been 17 long days. The good news has been that their health has been monitored all through the last 17 days. They're stable, but the doctors not wanting to take any chances, and that is why this makeshift hospital that in fact has been made right inside the tunnel. Our rolling coverage continues, matter of minutes, the last hurdle as far as pulling out these workers are concerned. It's a wrap from my side, but news continues here on CNN News 18 with my colleague Toya.
Thank you, Ridhima. All right, we are continuing to cover the situation right now in Uttarkashi. It has been 17 days. Today is day 17 of 41 workers remaining trapped in a collapsed tunnel. This is an incident that occurred, you remember, on Diwali morning, 5:30 a.m. 41 workers towards the end of a 12-hour shift when that tunnel collapsed, trapping them inside. Now, we've been bringing you moment-to-moment coverage of the rescue situation. You remember, the last few weeks have been filled with setback after setback, with brief silver linings. Now, my colleague Anshul is on the ground. Don't want to waste too much time giving you a description. We'll go to him for this. Anshul, tell our audiences, because for the last few minutes we've been telling our audiences that the moment of rescue, the moment when we see the first worker emerge, that moment is very close. But can you tell us exactly what's happening right now inside the tunnel first?
So yes, as we are speaking, the auger machine is pushing the pipe. The pipe has been welded into the last pipe. The 3-meter long pipe is now being pushed in because the rescuers want to make sure that the length of the pipe that goes behind the debris is actually 2 to 3 meters away. Because if at all any sort of movement happens and the debris falls, yet again the debris does not stop. The debris does not go ahead and stop the entry of that rescue pipe, and hence this operation is taking some more time, and within the next few minutes this process is going to come to an end, is what we have been told by officials. And once this process comes to an end, then the NDRF would jump into action, the SDRF would jump into action, and through the joint operation that these people will do, they will go inside these rescue pipes on the back of the tunnel, and then they would start sending out people one by one to this makeshift hospital that has been made now inside the tunnel now. As soon as these people will come out, initially they will be given warm clothes. Post that, they would be given glasses and masks. Glasses are very, very important because over the last 17 days, these people has had no access absolutely whatsoever to the sunlight, and hence suddenly coming out to natural light might be very disturbing for their visions, and hence they would be given those glasses. They would be asked to stay inside, and slowly they would be loaded into these ambulances, and one by one these people would then start coming out from inside the tunnel. You can see in the visuals over here, a lot of movement has already started. Everything is in readiness. The ambulances are waiting for their patients to come out, and as soon as they will come out, each and every person will be taken with safety, because yes, we have seen that the last time the rescuers got excited was at the 48-meter mark, when they said that over the next 5 meters there is nothing, there are no heavy metal pieces, and hence they would try to accelerate the process of drilling. It is that wrong decision that made sure that this entire operation is pushed back by days, and today finally, when we are in touching distance, or in fact when the breakthrough has finally been made, the rescuers at this point in time do not want to rush into anything, do not want to increase the speed of anything, and want everything to happen in a very, very organic manner, and that is what is happening right now. Yes, time is something that is not a constraint for the rescuers at this point in time, and hence patience is something that is being dealt with entirely in this entire operation that is happening right now. So in the next few minutes, we are expecting the NDRF to take over the operations. Once the NDRF takes over the operations, within the next 5 to 10 minutes, the first person would start coming out from inside the tunnel.
Anshul, it's been such a mood shift over the last 15, 16 days. You've been bringing us ground reports, and setback after setback has meant there's quite a bit of despair. But today it's clear there's an upbeat mood around you, and that change really happened in the afternoon around 1:30. Can you tell us exactly what happened? What made everyone so optimistic?
So yes, since morning we were reporting that only 4 to 5 meters were left for the drilling process to come to an end, for that breakthrough to happen. That breakthrough was the most crucial part of this entire operation. And as we reported and broke the story that the breakthrough has happened, then there was certainly the environment around us definitely got a lot electrified. A lot of people gathered over here, and I'll just try and show you in the visuals over here. how many people have gathered over here. This is for the first time in the last 17 days that I'm seeing so many people who have gathered over here. Not only here, but on top of the houses that have been built over here, on top of, in fact, on the roads that lead to this entire story. They all have gathered over here. Nobody, absolutely nobody wants to miss this historic moment when these people would start coming out. Everyone is ready with their mobile phones. Everyone is ready to make sure that whenever these people come out, that exact moment is captured in the mobile phones, because this is something that is going to be absolutely historic at this point. Not only on this side, the opposite side of the tunnel, but also right above the tunnel as well. There are people who are in fact waiting to get a look at those historic visuals. These are the locals of this entire area who have, in fact, there is a village right behind this tunnel, and these are the villagers from this area who have now come up on this side of the end, and now waiting for those official visuals, for the official confirmation for the people to come out, because it has been 17 days. One of the biggest rescue operations was underway out here. Every few days there was a hope. The light at the end of the tunnel started getting brighter, but yet again some obstructions came in, and then yet again that light got further and further away. Now finally, after 17 days, the breakthrough has been made. The light at the end of the tunnel can clearly be seen. It's just a matter of minutes that the pushing of the pipe would come to an end, and post that the NDRF would take over the ops, and then they would start pulling out people one by one. And yes, this is a time this is a time for a historic photo op, and hence local leaders, local MLAs have all now started reaching over here to be a part of that historic photo op as these people start coming out. So yes, the next few minutes are very crucial. On the other hand, the local police and the local administration, who are at constant work, they have made sure that a green corridor is built over here. This green corridor would be built from here to at least 35 kilometers away from here, where the Chinali Sort location is, where the makeshift hospital has been made. So yes, you can imagine the kind of excitement that is over here. So many people have already gathered over here. So many people have in fact come just to see that historic moment playing out in front of their eyes, capturing this moment in their phones, because one of the biggest rescue operations that the country has ever seen, that is going to be successful today, and that is something that nobody wants to miss. You can see so many people have already gathered over here. Just try and speak to them. Pradhan ji, कैसा महसूस कर रहे हैं? 17 दिन के बाद आज लग रहा है कि आज ये ऑपरेशन कंप्लीट हो ही जाएगा.
पूरा एंड है. कहाँ पर है वो, जहाँ से निकालेंगे हम? कहाँ पर है? अच्छा, तुम्हारी फुटेज ही ले रहे हैं. एम्बुलेंस कहाँ दिख रही है? बड़ा हाँ, क्या उम्मीद होगा?
देख के ना
सीधे नीचे जाएंगे फिर.
ठंडा हो गया तो
सर मैं आगे अंश वाले कैमरे में, इसको फ्री है ना, हटा दूँ? अच्छा अपने कैमरे से ठीक है सर, दे रहा हूँ। ठीक है सर, ओके सर। वाला